Welcome all. Today's top breaking news with Gitanjali from Bayan Times. Jagan government celebrates its first anniversary by launching 10,641 RBKs. Chief Minister Y.S. Jaganmohan Reddy on Saturday marked his government's first anniversary by launching 10,641 Raitu Bharosa Kendras (RBKs) and introducing reforms in the agricultural sector. RBKs will bring about a revolutionary change for farmers and help them in every way from sowing seeds to safeguarding crops, he said, adding that RBKs are a one-stop solution for farmers' problems. Addressing about 5 lakh farmers via video conferencing, Jagan said he closed to spend the day with them as it would make him happy. He further said he is not shy in saying his government is partial towards farmers and added, the state can only prosper when the agriculture sector is on the right track and farmers prosper, pointing out that 62% of the state's population is dependent on agriculture and allied sectors. The Chief Minister said that in this government's first year, an unprecedented amount of Rs 10,200 crore was credited to the encumbered bank accounts of 49 lakh farmers under the YSR Raitu Bharosa PM Kisan Yojana scheme. Andhra Pradesh records 110 fresh cases, 2 deaths in last 24 hours. Andhra Pradesh recorded 110 fresh cases of COVID-19, taking the tally to 3,571. 2 deaths were recorded in the past 24 hours, taking the toll in the state to 62. One each death was reported from Chittoor and Krishna districts. Of the 110 fresh cases, 12 are people who other states, the media bulletin released by the State Command Control Room said on Sunday. According to the bulletin, 9,370 samples were tested from Saturday 9 am to Sunday 9 am, of which the fresh cases emerged. A total of 51 persons got discharged from hospitals across the state after their recovery in the past 24 hours. This takes the total number of recovered persons to 2,332, while the active cases stands at 1,177. The active cases include 111 foreign returnees and 221 persons from other states. Meanwhile, the number of samples so far in the state stood at 3,72,748, while the tests per million stand at 6,980. Mercury rising, so is Andhra Pradesh energy demand. Due to soaring temperatures and easing of restrictions, the state's energy requirement that reduced drastically due to lockdown is increasing gradually. From an average of 150 to 160 million units a day in April, the energy requirement shot up to over 193 MUs a day in the last week of May. According to data released by the State Load Monitoring Cell, the unrestricted peak demand rose till May 28, and the highest peak of 10,101 megawatts was seen on May 27. This is not only the maximum unrestricted peak demand in over 2 months, but is only marginally lower than the last recorded peak of 10,207 megawatt before the lockdown on March 18. Observing that the rising mercury levels and relaxations in lockdown restrictions are the reasons for the energy requirement shooting up, the officials said the demand would increase further in the coming days. The normal daily requirements in April and May are over 190 MUs. In 2019, we had an average demand of 188 MU per day in the 2 months. This year, April and May average is 165 MU per day, with most demand recorded in the last 1 week, an official explained. COVID-19 count breaches 700 mark in Kurnool. Kurnool district breached 700 mark with 8 new coronavirus positive cases being reported in the district on Saturday. With the discharge of 585 persons after recovery, there are 92 active cases in the district. As many as 23 persons died of coronavirus so far. District Nodal Officer Dr. Sridevi said that they have collected 31,200 swab samples from persons with symptoms of coronavirus and they are awaiting test results of 900 samples. She claimed that Kurnool showed one of the best recovery rates in the state. People are scared that the positive cases might increase with the resumption of transport services and opening of shops. District Collector G. Vera Pandian directed the officials concerned to educate public about the precautionary measures to be taken to keep coronavirus at bay. ANMs, ASHA and health workers distributed 12 lakh pamphlets on coronavirus precautionary measures to all households. The civic staff spread sodium hypochlorite solution in all areas of the city. COVID-19 hits Andhra Pradesh Secretariat as employee test positive. The coronavirus has hit the state secretariat in Velagapudi of Guntur district. An agriculture department employee, one of the staff who recently returned from Hyderabad, has tested positive for the virus. With the secretariat remaining closed on account of the weekend, officials concerned took up disinfecting measures in all the blocks of the complex. Around 250 government employees stranded in Hyderabad since the beginning of the lockdown returned to Andhra Pradesh in special buses arranged by the APSRTC. The employees' samples were collected on their arrival and the results came back on Friday. Among the group 3, including a secretariat employee, tested positive. The 42-year-old Class 4 staffer of the Agriculture Department is a resident of Navuluru village in Mangalgiri. The official said he, along with 25 others, had travelled to Vijayawada in the special RTC bus. YSRC caused mass destruction in its one-year rule, said Chandrababu Naidu. Accusing the YSRC government of causing mass destruction in the state during its one-year rule, TDP Supremo and Leader of Opposition N. Chandrababu Naidu has said that it has no moral right to celebrate the occasion, considering its miserable failure to fulfill its countless promises made to the people. In a series of tweets with the hashtag #1year of mass destruction, Naidu on Saturday stated that destruction commenced with demolition of Prajavedika. Jagan had pushed all sections of people into a deeper crisis. Thousands of Amravati farmers were punished though they sacrificed their lands for capital city construction. Kurnool is in the grip of coronavirus. Farmers are struggling, construction workers have been rendered jobless, educated youth are suffering due to the lack of job opportunities. Amid such crisis, how can the YSRC organize one-year rule celebrations, he asked. Water sharing row Telangana Andhra Pradesh to lock horns in KRMB meet on June 4. Senior officials of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh will discuss the water sharing issue in a Krishna River Management Board KRMB meeting that will be held on June 4 at the Jalasoda in Hyderabad. KRMB Secretary A. Paresham said on Saturday that agenda notes will be communicated to the state shortly. Though both states were asked to send the agenda points, they have not responded yet. Thus, the board itself has decided to prepare the agenda points. The fresh row between the Telugu-speaking states started when Andhra Pradesh issued GO 203 to divert Krishna water from Srisailam to Rayalaseema region through Pothireddupadu. Telangana lodged a complaint against the GO, followed by Andhra Pradesh complaint that Telangana's projects were taken up without the approval of agencies such as the KRMB, Apex Council or Tribunal. Telangana extends lockdown till June 30, lifts restrictions from interstate movement. After the Ministry of Home Affairs issued its exit plan, Telangana state government on Sunday extended COVID-19 induced lockdown till June 7 outside the containment zones with more relaxations. In containment zones, lockdown orders will continue to be in force till June 30. Accordingly, in areas outside containment zones, there will be restriction on movement of persons between 9 pm and 5 am as against 7 pm to 7 am in force till now with immediate effect. A GO issued by Chief Secretary Somesh Kumar to this effect said that during restricted hours, no one would be allowed to come out of their houses except those who have to access emergency medical care. During this period, no shops or establishments except hospitals and pharmacies would be allowed to remain open. 6 Telangana policemen suspended for fuel racket. An inspector and 5 constables working with the Rajakonda police were placed under suspension after they were found to have worked in connivance with the gangs that were involved in fuel pilferage. Operating in Medipalli area, senior officials of the Rajakonda Commissionerate confirmed the suspension but did not divulge their names. According to sources, on May 18, the Special Operations Team SOT of Rajakonda nabbed a 7-member gang involved in fuel pilferage. While cautioning, they revealed the names of the police and stated that they were hand in glove with them. An inquiry was ordered which revealed that an inspector and a constable working with the SOT, another from the special branch and 3 constables from Medipalli police station were involved in the crime. Rajakonda Commissioner of Police Mahesh Bhagwat issued suspension orders on Friday. Uttam wants CM to fulfill old vows. TPCC President and Nalgonda MP N. Uttam Kumar Reddy on Saturday demanded that Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao first fulfill the old promises he made to farmers before giving them his surprise gift, which he announced while inaugurating the Konda Pochamma Sagar project. He asked KCR to waive crop loans up to rupees 1 lakh and pay the Raitu Bandhu assistance to all farmers without imposing any conditions. During a video conference with party ZPTCs at Gandhi Bhavan here, Uttam alleged that KCR is showing the crops cultivated under the Sri Ram Sagar project as they had grown under the Kaleshwaram project. Questioning if the Kaleshwaram waters are supplied to even a single acre, he said KCR took up the project only for huge commissions. The MP asked him to withdraw the new agricultural policy as it is dictatorial and does not guarantee protection to farmers' investments. He alleged that no assistance was provided to the families of over 4,500 farmers who committed suicide since 2014 and riots never got any compensation for crop loss. COVID-19 cases in Telangana surged post-lockdown relaxations. Be cautious. Citizens would have to ensure their own safety with the relaxation of lockdown norms and remain cautious, two senior health officials told the media on Saturday. The idea behind the message is clear if one looks at the numbers. A total of 1,082 people from 608 families were tested positive for COVID in the lockdown period between March 2 and May 3, when the guidelines were strict. However, 1,005 were affected by the disease during a period of just 26 days between May 4 and May 30, when the lockdown norms were easing. The officials were Director of Public Health and Family Welfare, Dr. G. Srinivasa Rao, and Director of Medical Education, Dr. Ramesh Reddy. They said that a surge in number of COVID-19 cases can be expected in the coming days as the movement of public increases and migrant laborers start to return to the state, mostly from Mumbai and other parts of Maharashtra. As per official estimates, the state has received around 1.5 lakh migrants since restriction on interstate movement was lifted. PG students from OMC test positive. Panic has gripped postgraduate PG students of Osmania Medical College, OMC, as three of them tested positive on Saturday. While one of them was a first-year PG student from gynecology who had been working at the government maternity hospital in Petla Burj. The others were final-year PG students from general surgery and orthopedic specialties. The orthopedic PG student had been home for 2 months and had visited the campus recently for signatures from the HOD. In all, nearly 40 primary and secondary contacts of each of them have been traced. Speaking to the media on Saturday, Director of Medical Education Dr. Ramesh Reddy informed that a worker at the college hostel mess has also tested positive for COVID-19. The mess has now been shut and the students are being provided food from the college canteen. We will decide on the hostel's closure by Monday. As of now, the guidelines do not call for the shutting of the hostel. However, a decision will be taken soon. The exams are scheduled as per the MCI orders before June 30, said Dr. Shashikala, principal of Osmania Medical College. Telangana records 74 fresh COVID-19 cases and 6 deaths. Telangana recorded 74 fresh COVID-19 cases on Saturday, of which 9 were migrant workers, 5 deportees from Saudi Arabia, and 5 journalists. The state also recorded 6 new deaths, including that of 2 infants. This takes the total number of cases in the state to 2,499, of which 1,010 are active cases being treated in designated hospitals, 1,412 are discharged, and 77 are deaths. While a chunk of the positive cases continues to be from the GHMC limits, 41 were reported on Saturday. Many were recorded from 11 districts: Rangareddy, Mehbubnagar, Chaktial, Suryapet, Vanaparthi, Warangal, Vikarabad, Medchal, Nagar Kurnool, Nizamabad, and Sangareddy. According to government's media bulletin, the 6 deaths included 2 infants, a 24-year-old preterm baby and a 3-month-old suffering from cardiac disease. The other 4 deceased, all men, were a 58-year-old suffering from hypertension, a 62-year-old with diabetes and hypertension, a 52-year-old with hypertension, and 47-year-old who underwent cardiac surgery. Riot suffered due to delay in canal repair works in Telangana. Despite repeated requests by the farmers, the officials concerned have reportedly not taken any measures to repair the Jurala project canals in the district. According to farmers, this is proving to be a headache for them as they are not getting required quantity of irrigation water. When Express interacted with a few distressed farmers, they said, though they made repeated representations to the authorities, no step has been taken to repair the canals or remove the silt from them till now. The farmers claim that it is because of the accumulation of the silt that the canals get damaged every now and then, as a result of which the capacity of the project has also gone down. According to sources, the lands that fall under the last ayakut of the project has not been getting adequate quantity of irrigation water due to this situation. Meanwhile, the farmers also mentioned how Maktil MLA Chittam Ramohan Reddy recently visited the project site and took stock of the situation. With this, we conclude with our today's news headlines. For more such latest news and updates, like, share, and subscribe Payan Times.